What's going on YouTube? It's Coolie, and today I'm going to be showing you a build for Awakened Rain that you are going to love. Okay, this build is going to feature very high defensive stats, very high elemental resistance, and very high status resistance, and very high HP. Sounds like a home run, sounds like the greatest thing ever, too good to be true, right? Wrong. Okay, so we're just going to move this over, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. So this build requires a ton of STMRs, so I'm not going to lie to you and say that, you know, anybody can make it, but if you have friends on your friends list that can handle making this Awakened Rain, you are going to have the tank to end all tanks, at least for a magic tank. And he's not going to be too shabby on the physical defense either. Alright, so the first thing we're going to give him is going to be Nyx's Dagger. Okay, Nyx's Dagger, 20% elemental resistance all the way across, plus 50 defense, so pretty good, and 20% HP, right? So let's throw that in there. Next, his shield, we're going to want to give him the Mercenary Ramza STMR, or is it Ramza's STMR? It's this one. I think, STMR Ramza. Just normal Ramza's STMR, okay? Also has 20% elemental resistance across the board. It's a light shield. Defense 60, Spirit 60, HP 15%. Okay, so you see we already got him up to over 100% fire and earth resistance from his natural innate resistances. Obviously, we are going to go with the Hairpin of Purity. The Hairpin of Purity is, you know, the go-to headpiece for tanks because of its high spirit and, well, for magic tanks anyway, for its high spirit and status resistance. Okay, so next up, another no-brainer. This is Wilhelm's STMR, the Imperial Armor, 20% HP, defense and spirit 110. Okay, so we've already got him up to 700 defense, over 850 spirit. He's already over 11,000 HP. This is with full pots on HP, defense, and spirit, okay? Now, here's where things get really interesting, and really out of reach for a lot of people. If 3 STMRs there wasn't already super out of reach for people, this is where it gets really crazy. You're going to want 2 of Awakened Rain's own STMR, which is the Knight's Metal. It gives you 30% elemental resistance all across the board. That is a stackable increase, so using 2 you get 60% elemental resistance all the way across the board, plus, you know, 30 on each stat for each one, so 60 attack, 60 defense, 60 magic, 60 spirit. Pretty awesome. Okay, now here's where we go really overboard, right? So we've already got a ton of HP, we've already got a ton of spirit, a ton of defense. Now is where things start to really go into territory where Awakened Rain becomes like nearly unkillable. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is Zargaboth STMR from the latest batch, gives you 20% elemental resistance across the board, plus 30% HP defense and spirit. It is tailor-made for magic tanks, that piece of gear. Okay. On top of that, we're going to go with Original Arrival, which is Marie's STMR. Also gives you a bunch of elemental resistance and spirit if equipped with a staff, I think, which is what we're bypassing that this time. We're not using the staff to get more spirit. But you see where I'm going with this. He's already at 230% element resist to fire and earth, and 150% to every other element. Okay? So finally, we're going to cap this off with Magic Sanctuary is Kryla's TMR, her regular TMR. Okay, we're going to use 2 of these to level him out. It's 25% elemental resistance all across the board for every element. So using those, we now at 200% element resist for every element. All status resist. The only thing that can affect Awakened Rain at this point is instant death, stop, or charm, which you should be bringing protection from. And Awakened Rain obviously is AoE magic cover tank. You're not going to want to use him to provoke things like that. So you'd have somebody else in your party, say Wilhelm, say anybody else, to draw the those status conditions. Other than that, he's nearly unkillable. if you really want to, you know, make it, finish it off, I would give him Shiva, you know, kind of built for spirit, right? Built for spirit, maybe MP, HP, and spirit, whatever you want to do. Shiva's one of the espers where you can get the, you know, reflection boost nodes pretty easily, and you're not missing out on too much if you do, so the stats will go pretty high. So as you can see, he's at 1192 spirit, 898 defense, 13,000 HP, and he's immune to everything. Pretty much everything. Like, nothing can kill this dude. So I actually can build this Awakened Rain. The whole idea of doing this came from, like, the gears that I had to put on him. You are also going to want, if you can't use Shiva, let's say you want to use, you know, I would say something like maybe you want to respec a Bahamut or something to increase spirit or defense instead of like attack and magic, because Bahamut's kind of like fallen on the wayside as far as those stats are concerned. And, you know, maybe that'll buff it up a little more for you personally. But yeah, so in future trials maybe that have like insane magic damage being thrown against you, I might actually make this Awakened Rain and put him up as a friend unit. Now, these stats are amazing, and what he can resist is amazing, but what's even better is this is without any buffs, right? So this is with all pots at level 120 and everything, but this is without a trust ability, this is without any, you know, he's not using, you know, Protector of Lapis to get, like, extra stats or anything. Let's say, you know, we now have access to, like, 150% buffs, right? So let's put 150% on defense and spirit. And you see it goes up to over 1200 defense and 1600 spirit. With a 150% stat buff, you know, during battle. Like, let's say use Ignis or somebody. So, yeah, Awakened Rain, absolutely disgusting magic tank at 7 stars. Even though, you know, CG Charlotte just came out in JP, I don't even think that she could come close to being this awesome. So, there it is. Something to strive for, I guess. You know, if you guys don't have all these gears, most people don't. You know, but this will give you something to shoot for if you want to make your Awakened Rain, like, absolutely gross. Try to get these pieces of gear, this build set up, and you will basically never lose a fight with him on your team. That's it for now. I'll check you guys next time. Peace out. Thanks for watching.